Hey everybody, February 7 here, and welcome back to the channel again for another year of Marquee Matchup predictions. Your favorite video of the channel. Well, usually it is, yeah. That's early in the beginning of the cycle. I get these nice views, and it's a great way to make money, especially now that it's going to be harder to get packs, which means there will be less players on the market. Less players on the market, that means the prices will go up even higher, especially if they make the rewards really juicy. And at the beginning of the game, one of the most necessary things is coins. But let's go right into it. Let's start with the first game, which usually is a fodder game. Usually it is a fodder game. So we're gonna go PSV versus Ajax. So you can do Dutch players from the Eredivisie. You can always do that. That's good. Then the second one, I'm gonna go with PSG versus Marseille. Usually that's a game that they like to they like to go with PSG. You know, it's a lot of people, especially at the beginning, they want to buy PSG players because they want to do maybe a Ligue 1 team, and these are two teams that I feel like on the past few years that they managed to put a lot of investment on them, so they show up in a lot of marquee matchups. Because let's be honest, there's no other great teams in Liga. Then the one that I think is going to be necessary to get players. Okay, Roma versus Lazio. Why? EA loves to put some derbies in. That's something that they usually do, like Betis versus Sevilla, if I'm not mistaken. That's the Andalusia derby. I think that's those two teams, if I'm not mistaken. This one is, they're not the closest, but at the beginning of this is the beginning of the season. A lot of it's going to change in the next few games, you know. So a lot's going to change, but I'm going with this one because it's a very big game. This is a derby. It's called the Derby of the Capital, or the Capital Derby, or in Italian Derby de Capitale. Did I say that right? I don't know. Anyway, one of the cons that I didn't say before is there's also a very interesting match in the Bundesliga, which is Dortmund versus Wolfsburg, and I'm afraid that Wolfsburg is either going to take place of this one, of Roma versus Lazio, or the place of the PSG versus Marseille. I'm afraid of that one. That's my biggest doubt. What is still a doubt is the next one, the last pick, which is Manchester City versus Arsenal. Okay, there's a lot of good games this week on the Prem. Okay, you have United versus Chelsea, but they are too far apart. You know, I think they're too far apart to be very, like, it's important. Don't get me wrong. It's I don't want to say top six because United hasn't been top six in a while. But yeah, I don't think there's a very big importance there because they're not that close. There's Liverpool versus Everton, which is also a very interesting game, and Everton is actually doing a good start of the season, so it could go there. But I'm gonna celebrate and I'm gonna pick which I consider to be the biggest rivalry in the last few years in the Premier League, which is City versus Arsenal. And again, the problem with this one, with the con on this one, is it is a very obvious choice. It could be either of the two other games that I mentioned before. I suggest you to invest at this moment because there's going to be not a lot of packs. I would try to invest in bronze cards. I think bronze cards are the way to go. Try to get them as cheap as possible, and then yeah, we'll see how it is when the marquee matchup comes out. Because I remember, okay, this is something also important. I remember that the big game of the marquee matchup, the SPC usually doesn't have bronze players, so bronze might be a little bit risky. So be careful with that. Maybe try to go silver just in case. That's the video for today. I promise I will post these videos sooner so you can invest. But hey, the game isn't even out for us normal people, so there would be no way to put this earlier. So yeah, I will leave a roadmap one of these days. Okay, I'll see you guys on the next one. Be sure to like, follow, and hit the bell icon, comment. Yeah, also comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.